Hey everyone, Gary with Thick Skinned RC back for another unboxing, and today we are changing pace a little bit and going with a 1/18 scale PXToys, a little buggy that would be perfect for throwing in the back of the truck or the back of the car and taking around with you. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what we got inside. Thought the actual design looked pretty cool. The paint scheme looked pretty cool. It's four-wheel independent suspension, four-wheel drive, supposed to be oil-filled shocks, and a LiPo battery. There's the transmitter it comes with. Pretty bare bones essentials. It is a relatively inexpensive toy grade RC. Took about 3 weeks to get here. 3 weeks, maybe a month. Definitely took a while. So, so here's what you get with it. It's your LiPo charger. And your transmitter, which obviously without the batteries feels really light, but aside from that, overall quality doesn't feel too bad. Light speed 2.4 gigahertz. We'll slap some batteries in it here in a minute and see how the balance and everything feels on it. But here's the actual RC itself. Obviously, we're not expecting wonders out of this, but sometimes you just need a little rig you can throw in your car or truck and not worry about it. Now, it is supposed to be oil-filled shocks. It is a brushed motor. You can see the suspension's definitely a bit on the springy side. For the money, I'm hoping I can drive it at least a few times without something breaking on it. But you never know. Sometimes you can be pleasantly surprised with the more inexpensive toy grade stuff. Now, as long as I'm not jumping it off of, trying to get 20, 30 feet of air out of it. But definitely want to be able to have some fun with it. So we'll get the camera situated here and we'll take a better look. Alright, and we're back. So it is a four-wheel independent suspension, four-wheel drive buggy that looks in design pretty similar to the Yeti and Exo that I have over there, so obviously just a lot smaller. Let's go ahead and pop the clips off here. Alright, so yeah, lift straight off. So it actually feels relatively good. See how it holds up. Doesn't feel real flimsy. Actually feels really well reinforced. And pretty good quality paint job. Silk screen, I'm sure, on there, but Racing Desert Journey. Might copy something like that for the Yeti when I repaint it. So there's the top, and here's the good bits here. So you can see the battery there. There's the motor. It does have a heat sink built in. Got your on-off switch right there, and what should be functional headlights here. I'm guessing that they shipped it with a little bit of juice in it, so after I get some batteries in the transmitter, we can power it up and see if the lights work and everything. It does not feel like there's any foam in the tires, which at this price point I wouldn't necessarily expect. Always be nice, but yeah, double shear steering. all in all, general design, you know, pretty standard for a four-wheel drive, four-wheel independent suspension setup. So yeah, let me put some batteries in the transmitter and we'll be back again. Well, chassis doesn't slap. Ooh, suspension does bottom out before the chassis slaps though. So that could be rough on the shocks long term. Yeah, see how that goes. Obviously, don't want to bash it too much, but anyways, yeah. Sorry, let me go ahead and get some batteries in the transmitter, and we'll get this, see if there's any juice in it out of the factory. Take a look at the manual real quick, and keep this rolling. So the transmitter itself takes 3 AA batteries, which I've got in there now, and initial power on just to make sure it's working. So next thing I'm going to do is not read the instruction manual, which I rarely do. Just going to go ahead and make sure it is turned off, which it is, and I'm going to go ahead and hook her up. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the transmitter on first, as always. And go ahead and flip the car on. And boom. Heard the servo twitch, so it's talking. The red light stopped flashing. And we've got LEDs in the front. So let's see. Quick little servo. Yeah. So it definitely works. So what kind of wheel speed we get. That should be pretty good. LiPo's definitely not charged all the way. Looks like it's probably a 2-cell. So I'm going to go ahead and get that charged up, and then tomorrow we'll go ahead and do a little driving session with it and get some footage up for that. So initial impressions, obviously I can't rate the speed and durability of it yet, but initial impressions after unboxing is the plastics seem decent quality. We'll see how long they last after a little bit of abuse. Being a 1/18 scale, I'm not planning on, you know, launching it, like I said, 20 feet in the air or anything, but definitely don't want it to be breaking a whole lot. So the plastic doesn't feel exceptionally cheap. The servo actually seems really quick. Obviously it's not traveling as far as the larger scale cars, but I mean, you can see there it definitely responds quickly. Suspension said is pretty springy, and unfortunately it does bottom out pretty well before the chassis does. So that means if you do take a big jump or something when you land, it's going to be putting a lot of stress on the shock towers and the shock internals themselves every time. So I definitely wouldn't recommend jumping this one a lot. Maybe some shorter shocks, or if the mounts, no adjustable mounts there. So, well, it looks like there's one position further we can go, which would give it a little bit more travel, so I might do that, but it doesn't look like it would overcome the gap we have there in the between the chassis and the ground with it fully, the suspension fully compressed. So with all that said, I'm going to go ahead and get the battery charged up tomorrow, take it out for a spin, and then post up some run videos and give a little review. Hopefully nothing breaks. We'll see how it goes. Again, we got plenty more videos, how-tos, and reviews coming up, so click that like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.